Hey everybody, welcome back to Beyond the Beard with me, Born Bearded Dave. How is everybody doing tonight? Gonna go ahead and start off by saying hi to everybody that's coming in. I'll let everybody roll in here just a little bit before we do that. Tonight's show, it's gonna be an okay show tonight. Don't really we're gonna get too deep, but we are gonna get into some discussion about Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, in that it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month for the month of June. Want to get that out there, and we're going to talk about. I don't know. We're just going to get into some discussions about. There's checking in on people, and what you do matters after checking in on people as well. So we're going to get into that a little bit tonight. We do have a giveaway at the end of the night tonight. We'll go ahead and get into that here in just a few minutes, and we'll go ahead and talk to everybody about that here in a few. Let's go ahead and start saying hi to everybody that's coming in. All right. And then I'll play some catch up. Chris, as usual, first in. Let's go. Appreciate you being here, brother. We got the infamous Miss K, aka Dot Lady, aka Ain't B. Stanley, appreciate you being here, brother. Hope everything is going well with you. We got Abe. Abe, appreciate you being here tonight, brother. Hope everything's going well. The one and only Jeff Harmon. Appreciate you being here, brother. Is everyone ready for another great show? I know I am. Well, appreciate that, Stanley. I hope you guys like the show tonight. Rob, appreciate you being here, brother. Hope everything's going well. And we got Donnie in tonight. Donnie, appreciate you being here. We got Tony. Tony, appreciate you guys. Appreciate you being here. Hope everything is going well. Bearded and Blessed, appreciate you being here. And we got Kenny Big Shoe, Big Show, Big Shoe. Same difference, Kenny. Appreciate you being here, brother. Hope everything is going well. The one, the only, the Irish bearded Baker. Baker, brother, appreciate you being here. Hope everything is going well with you. Let's see. We got Damien in tonight. Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? Hello, Dave. Listening into you in my earbuds at work. Well, I definitely appreciate that, brother. And hopefully we can kind of help that time pass a little bit for you. And we can start the show now. Romy is here. He is not missing today. Appreciate you being here, brother. Hope everything is going well. All right, let's go back through here, see where I left off. I know we got some more people that popped in. Let's see. Robert Allen, appreciate you being here. Let's see. RJ, appreciate you being in tonight, brother. Hope everything is going well. Got Mark Johnson. Appreciate you being here, brother. Hope everything's going well with you. And everybody is having a great evening. Shh, I don't think he knows we're here. You're hiding behind the sofa. I'm pretty sure I know you're here. Let's see. All right, I think we are just about caught up here. Catching up with the chat a little bit. All right, guys. Looks like we're caught up here. Appreciate everybody taking their time on a Tuesday evening, and I know this one runs a little bit late. Later on the East Coast for you guys over there. It's 10 p.m. Eastern there. But definitely appreciate you guys being here. If you guys wouldn't mind, if you forgot, hit that thumbs up on your way in. And if there's anybody that you think would like this kind of content where we kind of dig in beyond the beard and we talk about what's going on with everybody else beyond the beard, kind of the mental health side of it, the grooming and the taking care of yourself and how much it means to you. Share this out, for anybody you think might enjoy this kind of content, guys. We got up there he is. Nope. Where'd he go? There he is. Bud, appreciate you being here, brother. Hope everything is going well with you. All right, guys. Thank you guys for being here. Let's go ahead and start getting into it a little bit tonight. We'll get into give you guys an idea what we're going to be getting into today. As you guys are coming in, let me know, how has your week been treating you? Are we feeling good? Are we feeling a little tired? Are we just ready to hang out and reset a little bit tonight? Tonight, I want to talk about something that kind of fits for this month. It is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and I think it's a good time to have that real conversation, not just about saying the right things, but about what happens after that. You know, we always hear, check on your people, talk to somebody, reach out, be there for one another, and all that matters. But the question I want to sit with tonight is this: what happens after the check in? Because checking in is definitely important, but the follow through is where people really feel the difference. That's kind of what we're getting into tonight, guys. All right. Looks like we had another guy here. Brewer, appreciate you being here, brother. All right. So that's kind of what we're getting into tonight, guys. If you guys are just now coming in, we're just kind of getting into what happens after you check in on your brothers, because it is very important to, send out that text. Hey, how you doing? How you really doing? Um, but that follow through really makes a difference. And that's what we're going to be getting into a bit tonight. Um, all right. Let's see, Romy. I've been working out on one of the other driving schools. This until the 20th. Went from bigger city to straight up country for a month. So cool. No violence. Absolutely, man. That's awesome. All right. All right, guys. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the giveaway real quick before we dive into this. I have several oils that I have that I want to make sure we're getting out there. I kind of want to get those out to everybody. These are oils that they're not bad oils. They're just oils that I have a hard time getting into my rotation because I have so many of them. These have not been used, and we're going to be giving away 3 random oils tonight. We have, uh, what was that? To one, yeah, 3 oils to one person tonight. Yeah, thank you for reminding me to put that in there. True North Beer Co. Chris, appreciate you being here. And we have oils, from companies such as Copper Johns, Bain Blends, BHT, EDC, True North. I mean, we have several different ones. So I'll just kind of randomly pick 3 and get those out to you guys, and we'll go ahead and put up the hashtag here shortly, and we'll do the giveaway more towards the end of the show. All right. Let's get it right. Absolutely. Appreciate you being here, Chris. So yeah, I think anybody that's done content kind of understands that you'll order an oil and then 2 or 3 more will be sent to you. And it's not that you don't like those scents. It's just that you already have your stuff set to do a review on specific scents or the specific oils and things like that. So, we have a lot to that we just give away. And I just kind of want to give back to you guys and get it to somebody that can use it. So we'll be working with that tonight. All right. Well, yeah, just want to help give back in any way that I can, especially people are really needing it, and that'll be awesome. Looking forward to that. Jerome, appreciate you being here. Hope everything is going well. Let's see. So you know what? I will say this: you have to be present in order to win the giveaway. I'm going to put up that hashtag here shortly. That way, everybody can kind of put it in as they're coming through, and we'll go from there. All right. But we'll get that in here shortly. Just kind of want to go ahead and get into what we're working on here. Like I said, the follow through is where the people really feel the difference. It's one thing to say, I'm here if you need me, and it's another thing to actually be available. It's one thing to say men need to talk more, and it's another to create a space where men can be honest about how they feel without being judged. It's one thing to give good advice, it's another thing to take action on that advice. And this is kind of where the conversation is going to lead to tonight. It's going to be the check-ins, the follow-through, the advice, the action, the accountability, and what real support actually looks like. Let me ask this to you guys. When somebody says, "I'm here if you need anything," do you actually believe them, or do you think that's just something that people say? Go ahead and drop your answers in the chat, guys. Just kind of curious on this one. When you hear somebody say, "I'm here for you if you need anything," do you usually believe them, or do you hear it as something that people just say? Kind of curious on this one. Travis was pretty stunned at this. All right. If I win, you can put it in my beard personally. Well, might have to wait till October or whenever I see you, but yeah, absolutely, man. Well, I don't know. I don't know. We'll have to think about that one because there's a possibility that can happen. So I'll have to get back to you on that one, Baker. Jacob, appreciate you being here. Hope everything is going well. Something that people say. Okay. If that happens, you have to film it. Typically don't believe them. It depends on who's saying it. Yep. I don't tend to get that a lot, so it does resonate when I do. Yeah, I agree. Depends on who's saying it. I would like to say they mean it, but sadly, I reached out to some of those people, not really to those people, and not really stand by it. Right, right. Depends on who's saying it. Right. So let's go through, and I do have this broken down in sections again. They seem to work out pretty well last week. So I did break this down into sections a little bit. And section one's going to be the check-in is is the door. When you check in on somebody, that's the door, but it's not the whole house. The first thing I want to say is this: checking on somebody matters. Sometimes a simple text can make a huge difference. Sometimes asking, "You've been good lately," can really open that door for them to really start that conversation. Sometimes somebody just needs to know that they're not invisible. So that's where that opening of that door really helps. Um, but the check in is only the door, it's not the whole house. What I mean by that is if I check in on somebody, but I'm not actually ready to listen, did I really check in on them? If I check in on somebody, but I'm not actually ready to listen, did I really check in on them? It could be if I say, "You can talk to me anytime," but then I disappear when things get uncomfortable. What did that really mean? Because, sometimes that, you know, the the feeling of, okay, somebody cares can hit when you open up that avenue, when you say, "You can talk to me anytime." And then, you know, if I tell somebody to open up and then I judge them when they do, I may have just taught them not to open up again. And that's kind of where we're going with all this, guys. It's making the this is making the men's mental health conversations become practical. Then that's kind of where we're going with it. Yeah. Robert Allen, depends on what type of person they are. I believe them or not. Some people are just here for you so they can get something from you that they want. Yeah, there are some people out there like that. Yep. Actions over words. Yep. Yep. And it can definitely damage that trust. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's not just about saying the right thing, right? It's about being safe enough for somebody to actually answer honestly. Because a lot of us men, we struggle to say what's really going on. So when they finally do say something, the way people respond matters. Yeah. So when we, and I think that's true for a lot of us here. If we've asked advice or we just or somebody's come in to check on us, you know, that follow through really does matter. Have you? And here's a question for you guys: have you guys ever had somebody check in on you, but you could tell that they were not really ready for the real answer? You guys don't have to give details. Just a question: yes, no, or maybe. Have you ever had somebody check in on you, but you could tell they were not really ready for the real answer? Chris, there's a True North gas station in one of the areas near me. A couple of them actually. Nice. Valhar, appreciate you being here. Hope everything is going well. Don't think I've ever had anybody check in on me like that. Yeah, they would check in and immediately check out. Yeah. I've had people absolutely check out or reach out, um, but you could tell by the question it was just checking a box, if that makes sense, right? Johnny, appreciate you being here, brother. Hope everything is going well. Yeah, I never judge. I just recently had a lot of this community check up on me, and it took it all sincere. Absolutely. And sometimes that's kind of what it takes. Just making sure everybody's doing good and just checking in on 'em, especially if you haven't seen them in a while. That honest, hey, haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing good, kind of thing. Great to see everyone. Always supporting everyone here. Absolutely, it's great to. I really appreciate you guys being here tonight and all the support. So, absolutely agree, Johnny. Appreciate you guys being here. So, all right. So, section two here is, I'm good is sometimes a test. A lot of men, even if they're really not, one of the first things that they're going to say is, I'm good. And sometimes they are. But sometimes I'm good is definitely not the truth. And we know that. Sometimes I'm good as a test. It's not always on purpose, but sometimes it's almost like saying, are you really asking? Do you really want to know? Is this a safe conversation? Are you going to regret me being honest? Because when somebody asks how you're doing, it's easy to give the quick answer. I'm good. I'm all right. I'm just tired. Same old, you know. But sometimes there's a lot behind that. And this is where we have to learn how to listen a little better too. Because if somebody says I'm good, but everything about them says they're not good, maybe that is the moment to slow down a little bit. Not pressure them, not interrogate them, but maybe just say, "All right, I hear you, but seriously, have you been okay?" And that second follow-up question can really matter because the first answer is typically just automatic, right? The second answer can be what's more honest. Is that making sense to you guys? Or am I losing you guys here? Valhar, if I had you guys' number, it would never go dry, right? Yep, got to ask open-ended questions and follow up. Yep. I think maybe if men were a little more honest about how they're feeling, it would definitely help. But know who to trust to open up. Well, and that's kind of the thing. We've been taught all of our lives, not to open up about these things. And a lot of the guys that have opened up about these things to people they thought they could trust wound up getting judged or wound up having this thrown back in their face. So, yeah. Crash, appreciate you being here. I'm sure the trash talk would be in between the check-ins, but that's the beauty of sports. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yep. I agree. If he hasn't heard from you in a while, he'll kind of check in on you, see how everything's going. Yep. Listening podcast at the style. Appreciate it, Chris. All right. So are you in a I'm good kind of person if somebody's checking in on you? Yeah. Do you say, "Yeah, I'm good," even when you're not? Uh, or are you one of the types that just kind of says what's going on? Yeah, sometimes that also depends on who's asking, right? I've been checking in on my pal whose wife left him suddenly, checking in 2 times a week. There you go. How are you listening podcast style while dominating the chat? Rob, I'm really trying to be better about reaching out and checking in with people, right? And this isn't, guys, just so you know, this is not a gotcha kind of thing. This is just want to give us something to think about. We've been doing that for a little while here on this particular live stream, and I think it's getting that food for thought out there. Because I mean, some people wouldn't have even thought about the follow up to it. It's how many times have you personally asked somebody, "Hey, how's everything going? How are you really doing?" And you just get the "I'm good," or "It is what it is." You know, how many of us have actually gone off and say, you know, "How are you really?" You know, and kind of giving that food for thoughts. What I really like about what we're doing here, guys. I'm at the computer, contracts together. Dave's soothing voice is good focus. Well, I appreciate that, Valahar. Really do, Veronica. I get so sucked into all that I'm doing and lose sense. Yeah. Uh, don't really have people that check in. And, that's what we're trying to change here, right? That's what breaking the stigma is all about. That's what giving people the ability to say, hey, you need something, just need somebody to talk to, shoot a message. I'm good or I'm tired kind of person, especially when the wall is up. Yep. And it surprised me how quickly we can build that wall too. I've done it. It depends on the person and or the context. Usually, I handle things myself if I can. Not afraid to ask for help or guidance, however, if I deem it necessary. Right. Right. And there's a lot of things we can take care of on our own, but sometimes just having somebody that has a good ear that can just kind of listen to you vent out your frustrations or what's going on, or just having somebody to hear and listen to you helps more than what we realize. I'm horrible with small talk. That initial message to somebody I haven't talked to for a while gives me anxiety if the recipient doesn't respond well. I feel like Homer hiding in the bushes. Yeah. Dominate. I'm glad I'm part of the community. I love this genuine support is real. I want to thank everyone that has always checked in on me. Absolutely, Johnny. And it, there's so many great people in this community, and we're creating a safe space for anybody to come in and just kind of let out what's going on in their mind, and have a safe place to talk and seek help. You know, and that's what I'm really loving about this community here, guys. I try to take care of my pals in Colorado, even if I'm 1,000 miles away. Yep. Do my best to reach out to the ones that I care about. Right. And guys, again, this is not a gotcha. I mean, I'm the first one to tell you that I do answer every message on Instagram or on YouTube, but sometimes it takes me a little while. It's doing this plus there's other things that I need to take care of for the channel, and then after that it's I work 8 hours a day 5 days a week, which a lot of us do. It's finding the right time as well, right? Oh, no, it's not a gotcha moment. It's honestly something I'm working on because I know what it feels like when I feel no one cares. Absolutely. Yeah, and that, we're just trying to let people know that the community is open. It's open for if you need somebody to talk to. Tell Baker to f off daily. Yep. Yep. Even even that can be showing some love sometimes, right? Baker, to be serious, I am good to am good. Hate to talk to DMs or chats, but in person, um, I talk. Bruno's in person so much better. But again, it's all all of us around and the great United States, so we need to do something, right? Let's see. F off is friend off. There you go. Go to the chiropractor once a month to help my back carry the mental load. Yep. Yep. Robert Allen, how many people ask how are you doing while they're walking past you and not stopping to listen and answer, right? Yeah. And sometimes I think that's just a way of somebody being polite and just kind of, hey, how's it going? Yeah, there absolutely is some great people in this community. Yep. Yes, TNBC, but take it as he cares. Yep. All right. F is always showing love in Massachusetts, right, Chris? Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Stanley. You are absolutely one of those. Yep. Appreciate our talks. Yeah, absolutely do. And so it kind of goes off, but sometimes it's easy to give advice. It's easy to say, talk to somebody, get help, take care of yourself. Don't bottle it up. Check on your friends. And all that could be really good advice, but that advice by itself doesn't always change anything. The action does. If I tell somebody get help, but I never follow up, that's advice without action. So it's like, okay, I could tell somebody, hey, you need help. But if I don't give them those resources that I know of, you know, it's just advice without action. If I tell my friend to call me anytime, but I'm never answer or call back, that advice is without action. If I say mental health matters, but I never make a space for real conversations, that is advice without action. And that goes both ways. If I know I'm struggling and people give me a good advice, I still have to decide what I'm going to do with it. Right? If I'm struggling, people give me good advice. I still have to decide what I'm going to do with that advice. It doesn't mean, you know, it doesn't mean it's easy. And it doesn't mean that decision happens overnight either. But at some point, we have to ask, am I just hearing good advice or am I taking one step towards doing something with it? And, we talk about those small steps. We talk about those small steps often, especially on this live stream. And that one step might be small. It might be making an appointment. It might be sending a text. It might just be admitting, I have not been myself lately. It might be apologizing to somebody you snapped at. It might be getting outside instead of sitting in the same old mood all day. It could be something as simple as I need help with this. And that's where action starts. Not with some massive life change, but it starts with one honest step. Those small steps, guys. Hmm? It just okay, guys. Well, it looks like we're going to have 3 giveaways tonight. We just had 2 anonymous donations as well. So give me just a second. We'll start getting into that a little bit here soon. Dennis, appreciate you being here. Sorry I missed you coming in. Hey, Dave and everyone. Love the stream. Thank you for this. Really do appreciate that, guys. Dennis, really do appreciate that. Let's see. Needs to be a simp profile. Let's see. Robbie S. and we're practically cousins. Yep. Let's see. When you get hit with the situations that you don't know what to say, that's just when it gets tough. Right. And, the last thing that we want to do is give bad advice, right? And as somebody who's trying to give that advice or somebody who's trying to be that voice to listen, if you're willing to listen and listen to some of the issues that they have going on, for example, if somebody says, "Man, I'm not good right now. I'm not in a good mental space. I've got these battles that are going on in my head that I can't sort through." That's when you could say, "Hey, you know what? I don't have the answer, but let me look into it because I know somebody who might," and start contacting people. I mean, I don't have any issues at all with somebody saying, "Hey, you know what? I got a buddy that's going through something. Do you have any suggestions or are there any resources that you know?" Which reminds me, I'm going to go ahead and put this in here as well. Um, I meant to have that scrolling down at the bottom. And it's the dial 988 for support. Um, if you're having some of those issues and you're fighting some of those battles in your head, there is a veterans line on there available as well. And that's where I would say, going back to that, guys, if somebody's asking me, hey, I got a friend that's going through this, I don't know these resources, and that's where I can say, hey, there's phone numbers for somebody to contact if it's an emergency thing. They just need to talk to somebody now. Dial 988. There's if you can't afford therapy, there's charities like Nerd HQ that can help you with the funding for therapy. I mean, and I encourage anybody who is ever having that doesn't know or doesn't have those contacts to get a hold of people that do. Yeah, and they are tough conversations. They are tough conversations because again, we don't want to give bad information. We really don't, and I don't think anybody intends purposefully to give bad information. Um, but if you're going to give information, try to make it as educated as possible. If you know, by all means, tell them. If you don't, just tell them, hey, you know what? Give me a little bit. I'm gonna pull up some resources for you because you know what? It's easy to go onto Google and say, hey, I got XYZ going on. You know, what kind of help? What kind of help would be out there for me? But you know what? People that are going through it, they don't even think that far to actually do a search on that. And you may have a contact with somebody um, that is more equipped to answer those questions. I mean, um, you got Brewer, people that I know he's got a lot of contacts as well as far as things like that as well. So, I mean, don't give bad information, but definitely make sure to follow up um, with the information if you can. It's so hard to be real with most in chat without meeting in person. It may just be me, but I don't know the real in someone until you look at them in the eyes. Yep, I agree. I agree. It's difficult. Um, and I completely understand that too. Baker, miss you already, brother. We should be neighbors, right? And I agree with that. Yeah, because man, I haven't seen Baker since Worlds, and yeah, I've been going through a little bit of withdrawals there, Baker. Gonna have to see you here soon. Sometimes just being there to listen can be more effective than having all the right answers. Loneliness is brutal, and open ear is a treasure. Absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. I can't tell you how many times that I've called Aaron just to kind of vent out what was going on throughout the day. Just not necessarily looking for answers, but just somebody that can listen and understand. Not judge me for what I'm saying, but just being able to listen. Absolutely agree with that. Baker wants to look deep into my eyes. Well, it's not as strange as you think. Brewer, agree. There's lots going on in my neck of woods now, and the weather better. Yep. Mental health is serious, and it's awful dealing with it alone. I feel bad for men who suffer in silence. And when I come across men, I would tell them that it's okay to talk about their feelings and to be honest. Right, right, and that's always good information to get out there. Um, we've been hardwired to not talk about it for so long that it takes a while to break through it, and that's we're breaking that stigma every day, guys. And that's one thing I could say that I truly feel blessed to be a part of this community, and that is simply because we do what we can to break that stigma about talking about mental health. You don't see that in every community. I'm very happy. I've learned so much about mental health from Sean. Yep, yep. Dedicating all Instagram stories and songs tonight to Baker. And there is the site for Nerd HQ. Again, guys, if you guys have any, you guys are running into issues financially, or you're not able to afford therapy, get a hold of Nerd HQ. This is what they do. They help provide the funds for therapy. So, right. Who's all planning on going to Buckeye? Me and Miss K will definitely be there. Tony's hoping to go. It's tough to know who to trust. Lots of great people, and I love those to take the time to reach and chat. Yep, absolutely. Right. All right. Let's get into it again here. So, what is harder for you guys? Is it asking for help? Is it accepting the help? Which is harder for you guys? If you guys have ever run into situations where you needed help, is it harder to ask for help, or is it harder to accept the help when asked? Definitely asking for help. Yep. Unfortunately, I'll be missing the annual Buckeye for the fourth year in a row. All right. You have another one that you typically go to around that time, don't you, Brewer? Was it South Dakota last year? I think it was. Zachary, appreciate you being here. And Miss K says, for anybody who needs to utilize that resource, please do not hesitate. It is very easy, non-invasive process to sign up and get started. Absolutely. Asking for help. Yep. Asking for it. And I think that's a lot of us guys, right? Yep, the Dakota Beer Bash. Yep. Yeah, maybe next year if they're running it next year, maybe we might wind up having to make a trip out that way. I don't like to feel like a bother for any reason, even the smallest things. If a man asks if they can help me load a case of water in my car, nah, I work it out. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. All right, guys, and here's another one that another section of this that kind of hit hard too, right? Another part of the conversation is where we have to be honest about both sides of this, right? If you are the person who if you're the person checking in, you can care, you can listen, you can encourage, you can point somebody towards help, and you can be present. But you can't force somebody to take that lifeline. And that's really hard to do sometimes, because when you care about somebody, you want to fix it. You want to make them understand. You want to make them choose a better path. But sometimes people hear advice and they still choose the wrong action. Sometimes they ask for help, but then they reject every healthy answer. Sometimes they want relief, but they don't want the responsibility. That truth, you know, that is a hard truth that we have to face sometimes, especially if we're the ones that are giving advice, or we're trying to help. Because compassion doesn't mean that we excuse everything. We had a discussion about that last week. Mental health can explain some things, but it doesn't automatically excuse harmful behavior. You can care about somebody and still have boundaries. Uh, you can want somebody to get help and say, I cannot let you take this out on me. You can support somebody and still say, this behavior is not okay. And that matters because the support is important, but the compassion is important too. But they have to have that accountability as well. Kind of a little touch of what we were talking about last week there as well. Asking for help is the worst. Yeah. Yep. Might not make it to Buckeye either. New Jersey. Yep. I will not be at Buckeye again this year, like I was hoping to. Other trips trump that. Yep. And that happens too. Break the stigma. Absolutely. Karate Elvis. Sorry, I'm new here. What's in Buckeye? Is this Buckeye, Arizona? This is going to be in Zanesville, Ohio. And it is a beard competition. You get a lot of people from community going into a beard competition in Ohio. And thank you for being here, and I appreciate you coming in. Yep. And I believe I believe this year, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this year the charity that the proceeds are going to is Comeback for Kayaks. And, or, yeah, yep. Sometimes they come in and ask for advice and refuse to take the advice I give. At some point, I have to cut that one off, realize they're looking for sympathy, but play the victim card instead. Right. Yep. I was going to say it's awfully hot here in Arizona. Yeah, it's in October. I believe it's, no, I'm sorry, September. I want to say it's September 19th or around that weekend. I can't remember the exact date, but we are definitely going there. So, Dave, if you know someone will not take the advice, will that change what you tell them? Not necessarily. It's again, you try to give that advice the best that you can. Um, when it comes to certain things, you can't. My mom used to call it straddle the fence. One side or the other. You know, some people will hear the advice and say, "Well, I could do part of that, but the other part of that, I'm not going to go with." I mean, if it is your solid advice that you're giving, um, I pretty much stick to that. Now, if there is information that I didn't know about, or more things that they wanted to, uh, more information that they want to give on a certain situation, that might change the advice in a way. But it normally won't change what I tell them. No, it just kind of depends on the conversation. Do I know everything? Have they divulged everything? And that's something the two guys, um, when we're afraid of being judged, we kind of hold some information in too. So the advice might change a little bit depending on the whole situation. Somebody just like that. It's hard to find a genuine person to talk to, Dave. They hear you, but they're not listening to you, right? And you know what? And if you're finding that, that's where therapy makes a huge difference. You know, you're finding somebody that is willing to listen to you and work with you, yeah, about what you have going on. I think now with social media, it's easier than ever to notice if somebody is crashing out. It's like when beggars post weird pictures of himself in the stories and has Journey faithfully playing. I feel that, in my personal opinion, most of us are not great at communicating when it comes to the deep stuff on both sides of the conversation. Yep. Right. Yep. My opinion, turn like Crashing out a few days shorts. Staying up. Yep. Kiki, no comment. Big shoe on the back end. Yep. I've had many conversations where I just didn't feel heard or seen. People can take things in a completely different way than you meant them. And it's tough when that happens. It is. Absolutely agree. It is tough when that happens. All right. All right. And, that kind of goes along with if we are the ones struggling, we still have a role to play. It doesn't mean blaming ourselves, it doesn't mean pretending that it's easy, but it does mean being honest about your part. If somebody checks in and we always say we're fine, eventually they may believe us, right? If somebody offers support and we never take that step forward, then nothing changes. If we keep saying we want things to get better, but we kept making the same choices, at some point we have to look at that. Not from a place of shame or a place of responsibility, but not from a place of shame, but from a place of responsibility. Because responsibility can actually be empowering. You know, when you have that responsibility, it means that you're not powerless. It means that you can, there's a step that you can take. It's not going to be the whole staircase, but you know, is- that step that you could take may not be the whole staircase, but it might not be the whole solution, but it's one step at a time, right? That one honest conversation, that one call, that one appointment, that one apology, that one healthier choice, that's action. And, and that one small action may be where things start to shift for you. Making the same choices over and over, expecting a different result is a dead end. There has to be adjustments to take actions to get different reactions. Yep. Yep. That is the definition of insanity. Yep. Big shoe taking up a baker there. Yep. Yep. All right. So, what is one small action that somebody can take when they know they're not doing great? Not looking for a huge life change, just one small action. You know, and you text somebody, go for a walk, set up an appointment, get some sleep, eat something decent, take a shower, get out of the house. You know, those are just some of those things that we can do. Yeah. You can write it down, journaling, you know. Journaling is one of those big ones that I'm starting to get into myself. Um, I'm looking forward to getting into myself. It's one of those things that I've been thinking about, and I think it'd be really good for me to do so. So it's one of those things that I took some time to wrap my head around it, but yeah, definitely looking forward to doing it. Unplug. Yep. Reach out to a friend or family member and have a phone call. Yep. Baker with a perm is a flex, though. Right. All right. All right, guys. Do you take time to decompress daily? Absolutely. Even better than texting is talk to the person or at least over the phone. That's a better emotional connection with the voice. Yep, absolutely agree. I mean, I think we've all been there to where you've seen a text and that text can go either way. you know, it could be somebody, just there's plenty of times where you can look at a text and kind of take it bad. So it's tough to be serious when all you need is a laugh to forget something. But I believe in therapy and talk to somebody you don't know and airing all the crap that bothers you. Yep, absolutely. Yes, I want to get in journaling, keep hearing about all the benefits, but I've never done it and it feels strange and foreign to me, right? Even if I don't talk, go to my parents' house, a safe place that allows me to decompress without responsibility staring me in the face. Yep. Bullet journaling is fun. Make your own layouts, pretty pins. I did it for a while and it was fun. It uh, just got to be a distraction. I doodle too much. Right. All right. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys having that conversation with me a little bit tonight. That was the piece I wanted to talk about for tonight, the Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Not just check on your people, but check in, listen, follow up, and take action. You know, the advice is easy. Awareness is important, but action is where things can actually change. So that's kind of what I wanted to get into tonight, guys. Oh, I kind of missed. I missed doing my. Oh man, my slides today. Let's see. All right, guys. So now that we've gone through all that, guys, how has your day been? How has your week been? I know I kind of asked that at the beginning, then I kind of jumped right on topic. Hope everybody's doing well today. Is the beginning of you guys' week doing well? Prompt journaling can also be helpful to get you started, right? Yep. Use it for my teenage years as my therapy. Kenny, appreciate that. Speaking of doodle, I nearly doodled my pants the other day when a student driver legit fell asleep while driving. I was fully aware and handled the situation. Wow. Today was rough after taking a few days off, right? I'm completely thrown off now. Start over daily, Davey. Well, pretty much just I just kind of want to see how everybody's day was going. I asked that, and then I realized that after asking that, I really just started jumping into the conversation today. Um, so I want to give everybody opportunity to let me know how their week is going. Let everybody else know. We'd like to celebrate those wins on this channel, and hope everybody is having an amazing week. You know, last week I said, hey, let's find that one thing to do for yourself daily. Has anybody started that? Has anybody found that one thing to do for themselves on a daily basis yet? Getting ready for fifth grade graduation in 2 days. Nice. Crash workers suck. People are exhausting. Yeah, yep, they get that way sometimes. Since the first time since my diagnosis 20 years ago, I felt disabled and had to hand the reins for our move over to my son. Having a very hard time with it. Right. Yeah, and that is difficult. I mean, especially if it's something that we've been doing for years, and we have to. kind of pass that torch as we get older and we realize, hey, there's things that just certain things we can't do anymore. I think me and AA Ron just had a discussion about that yesterday. It's very similar to that. Yeah. Looking forward to Thursday. I'll be talking to my therapist, so that would be a reset. That's awesome, man. It is rough. It is rough. Long week, Dave. Some wins and some not so much. Yep. Yep. I think that's kind of the way this week has gone for me. I'm finally up to my weekend, so that's definitely a win for me. Getting to my weekend. Stanley said his day was good. Start off the day reaching out to people that I know, and then was able to replace the screen door on the back of the house. Frank gave me one. He was remodeling his house. There you go. Moving is rough. VP. I was taught at 30 years old, almost couldn't do it at 60, right? And it's definitely not easy. Man, if there's one thing that I dislike more than anything, it's moving. So, yep. Also looking forward to Thursday. I'll be heading west. Nice, nice. Let's see. Then you took the kids to the pool and froze. How far west? It is. It is very stressful, and it's stressful, and you want to help, and there's things that you want to do that you just and you're limited on. I definitely get it. Not doing great to be honest. Still on the same headache for the last week, 12 days I think, has kept me out of work a few times. Right, but it can't last forever. Right, we're definitely going to do what we can to try to get that knocked out and go from there. Hopefully, it decides to uh, let go and you know, and you can get rid of that headache. I know it's been bothering her for going on 2 weeks now. In my youth, brother and I used to rock paper scissors. Who will manhandle the washer and dryer? Right? We've actually gotten to the point where it's like, okay, the little stuff we'll go ahead and box that up, but we're at kind of at that point where I'll pay somebody to kind of get the bigger stuff out. Wound up having to do that when we actually moved in here. My bed is extremely heavy, and I'm like, yeah, I'll pay for some younger guys to grab a hold of that thing and walk it down the stairs and load it up into the truck. So, yep. All right, guys. So we have 3 giveaways tonight, apparently. So the first giveaway is going to be from me. It's going to be 3 random beard oils. I will go ahead and box those up and ship those off to you. Just make sure to get a hold of me either on bornbeardedco@gmail.com or get a hold of me on Instagram. That way I can get your address and get all that shipped out to you as soon as possible. And for the other 2, we have a $30 gift card going out for Busy Bee Collective. And we also have another anonymous $30 gift card going out for the Born Bearded merch site. So we'll be doing those separately. So the first one, let's go ahead and do #awareness for for one person to receive 3 random oils. All right. Stanley, been a great person to get to know. Yep, I agree. Let's see. #awareness. Since it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, let's go ahead and do #awareness for 3 random oils. These have not been used, guys. These are they're good oils. I got so many to get into rotation that I'd rather them go to somebody that can use them. So thank you for the generous person who donated the gift cards. Absolutely, guys. So this will be a gift card for the Born Bearded merch site and for the Busy Bee Collective site as well. The Born Bearded link, I do have the link tree pinned to the top of the comments here for anybody that wants to check out some of the merch, and we will go from there. Absolutely, Abe. It'd be even cooler if they were used. Essence of Dave. No, no. All right. We got 17 people in. It's 17 people that have gone for the gone for it. Oh, Rummy, I use Born Bearded oils, Hearth collector's item. And yes, guys, if you guys wouldn't mind, hit that thumbs up, and really do appreciate you guys. Hashtag awareness, and this is going to be for 3 random beard oils. I'm probably going to be doing this on Saturday's show as well, just kind of get back to you guys, get some of these out. Make sure you use them before they ship them out. And you know what, serious, if anybody needs to vent, get a hold of me. I will listen, message me. And you know what? The same goes out for me as well. All my links are in that link tree there. You can get a hold of me anytime, anywhere. And I will get back to you. If it winds up needing to be a phone conversation or anything else, it might take me some time to set that up. But if you guys ever need anything, definitely get a hold of me. And Baker, that is a generous offer as well. He is a great guy, and he is we've had discussions where we've just kind of vented back to one another. So, yep, great guy. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and do a poll on this in about 10 seconds. Everybody, last chance to get in there. Hashtag awareness. All right, guys, here we go. Let's see who is going to win the 3 random oils. Damien, awesome. I tell you what, feel free to contact me. Let me see if I can make a banner on that real quick. Not sure if you have Instagram, but let's see. Oh, caps lock are on. All right. And we're going to go ahead and do this one here. bornbeardedco@gmail.com. If you don't have Instagram, if you do, feel free to contact me there. Even if you want a lullaby, Davey will sing to you. As to everyone else, yep. Congratulations, Damien. Guys, great chatting with you, Dave K. Had a pleasure a week or so ago on definitely ease the negative thoughts. Absolutely. Appreciate that, Rummy. Really do. Congrats. Yep. Let's see. Yep, and there is my Instagram page, guys. Feel free to contact me there too. And thank you for being here, man. Really do appreciate it. Thank you, Dave. Absolutely. Yeah, just go ahead and email me or get on Instagram and send me your information there. And we'll just need your government name and your address, and we'll get that shipped out to you as soon as possible. All right, guys. So we're going to go ahead and change this one up. Let's see. You know what? I think we're just gonna go ahead and keep up hashtag awareness. So this one will be for the um, let's go ahead and do for the Busy Bee Collective website a $30 gift card. If you guys are not in this one, oh nope, I messed that one up, guys. Give me just a minute. I should be able to do the same hashtag. So let's see. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and do the same hashtag awareness. This is going to be for a $30 gift card to Busy Bee Collective. How many bees can you buy with $30? Probably a collective of them. Let's see. Chris, love seeing your name. Leave a message. We'll get back to you. What is DND? The resting beard face tumbler is pretty sweet, right? Do not disturb. All right, guys. Make sure to get in that hashtag awareness for a $30 gift card to Busy Bee Collective. That was a anonymous donation. He's sleeping right now. All right, guys. All right, we're going to go ahead and pull this in 3, 2, 1. Here we go. Good luck, everybody. Abe, congratulations. You have a $30 gift certificate from Busy Bee Collective. I think we might have your info, but if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and send us a go ahead and send me or Kay your information on Instagram if you have it. If not, then you know how to get a hold of me on Gmail. So congratulations, Abe. All right. Let's see. Yep, you got it right there. There he is. Thanks, Dave K. Once again, really do appreciate you and all your support, brother. That goes for everybody in here. Thank you guys so much for all your support and for being here for us on a Tuesday evening, which typically runs a little later. But appreciate you guys taking the time to be here. Got much love and respect for each and every one of you guys. So thank you guys so much for being here and trusting us and helping build this community. And one day at a time, we're breaking that stigma, guys. Yep, absolutely agree. All right, guys, we got one more, and the hashtag is hashtag awareness. And this is going to be for a $30 gift card to the Born Bearded merch site. If you guys do not have hashtag awareness in, let's get that in. That'll be a $30 gift certificate to the Born Bearded merch site. All right. I believe we have a couple of the Break the Stigma t-shirts. We have Break the Stigma t-shirts still available. We have the new Born Bearded tumbler. This is the old one. This one is like one of 3, but there are other tumblers on there and things like that. So All right. Oh, looks like we still have everybody in. All right. We're going to go ahead and pull this here in just a few minutes or a few seconds here, guys. Hashtag awareness. All right. We're going to go ahead and draw. Good luck, everybody. Brewer. There you go. Congratulations, Brewer. Appreciate you. As always. Brewer won the $30 gift certificate for the Born Bearded merch site. And in fact, I think he was one of the first ones that actually purchased something from the. Oh, was it the Christmas shirt? Right, right. So that's awesome. Thank you so much for your support, Brewer, and and I will say, and for always being there anytime I had questions or just needed some advice. You've always been there, and thank you so much, Brewer. All right. Reroll. I want to gift it to you. Okay, if you'd like to re-roll, we could do that. All right, guys. We're gonna go ahead and re-roll. All right. You do want to re-roll, right? Let's see. Not you. Wait, what? What am I doing? Okay, yes, re-roll. All right. All right, re-rolling. Good luck, everybody. Mark Johnson, awesome. Mark Johnson, I believe you know how to get a hold of us. Go ahead and send your info out to us, and we'll make sure to get that gift card out to you. Mark Johnson, are you still in the house? Is he still in the house? Mark Johnson. Mark Johnson, you wouldn't mind? Let us know that you're still up. There he is. All right, guys. Appreciate you and all your support, Mark. And just get a hold of us, and we'll make sure to get the gift card information over there to you guys. And thank you guys so much. And I think we're going to kind of start closing down for tonight. And just want to thank you guys so much for taking the time to be here. Some of the conversations get deep. Some of them aren't as deep as others, and but I think it's all meaningful conversation. And I appreciate you guys being here. Appreciate you guys taking the time to show your support, whether that's in a live stream or on a video that was done. Yeah, I think there's one other thing that I want to do here. Let me see here. I also want to go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and gift 5 memberships out as well. So I'm going to go ahead and gift those out. Just my way of saying thank you to you guys for all your support and really just kind of being here for us. So thank you guys for being here. And once again, guys, we will see you guys on Saturday evening. We'll see you guys on Saturday for the Beyond the Beard. I'm sorry, for the Bearded Kin show with me and Raised Bearded AA Ron. That'll be Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. We look forward to seeing you guys there. And we will, with all that said, guys, I hope you guys have an amazing week. Look forward to hearing from you guys on Saturday as to how the remainder of your week went. And remember, guys, let's find that one thing to do for ourselves per day, even if it's 1 to 3 minutes, just something. Let's find something to do for ourselves daily. And with all that said, guys, remember your mental health is a priority, your happiness is essential, and your self-care is a necessity. Love you guys. Have a good night.
This is beyond the beer. This is who you are. Every hidden battle, every unseen scar, you're still standing here. You made your way. One more breath, one more step, one more day. You're not done.